Under the burning sun, the savannah becomes a living battlefield. Every movement hides intent. Every breath carries the scent of challenge. Here, power is tested not by mercy, but by instinct and precision. The lion steps from the tall grass, not to hunt, but to reclaim its dominion. In this world where seconds decide fate, only one truth remains. The wild bows to no one. In the late afternoon, a pack of wild dogs races across the grassland like swift arrows. Speed, endurance, and flawless teamwork. These are the strengths of collective hunters. Each weighs only about 50 to 70 pounds, yet together they reach success rates of up to 80%, higher than most other predators. But they do not realize that every stride carries them deeper into the territory of a ruler. A lion suddenly surges forward, turning the hunt into a different kind of trial. In an instant, the air tightens like a drawn string. The pack, known for its persistence, scatters. A few younger dogs fall behind, while the adults swiftly change course and retreat. This is not a chase for a meal. It is a declaration of territory, an unseen line drawn across the map of survival. For the lion, every step through the tall grass is a marker of defense. Every breath a seal of ownership on this land. In the wild, power does not always require violence. Sometimes one timely moment is enough to restore order among predators. In the stifling heat of midday, spotted hyenas move in quietly. An adult weighs about 130 pounds, with jaws that can deliver up to 1,100 psi of force. Yet their true power lies in numbers, and in the strict order of their matriarchal clans. Their sharp calls echo across the plains, signals that summon the group and ignite patience for the right moment. Lions and hyenas have long been rivals. When a group approaches a lioness at her meal, the air grows heavy. Step by step, they close the circle, pressing her to surrender what she claimed. At last, persistence forces the lioness to retreat. But the triumph is short-lived. When a male lion arrives, no fierce move is needed. His stride, his mane flowing in the wind, is enough to make the hyenas falter. Under such presence, they give way, leaving the ground behind. At times, hyenas dare to mock lions, trusting in their numbers. But that gamble is not always safe. On another day, one hyena failed to escape the pride's advance, and its story in the sunlit plains came to an end. In the wild, the leopard is famed for stealth. It hunts in silence, avoids attention, and stays alert at all times, not only to capture prey, but also to keep clear of stronger rivals. For a leopard, even a small wound can cost its life, so its instinct is to withdraw whenever possible. Most of the time, lions and leopards rarely cross paths. But when a lion ambushes, the leopard is forced to face it. If quick enough, it leaps into the trees, vanishing among the branches. If not, and the pride surrounds it, the moment grows dangerous. Often it lies half-turned, claws raised, eyes fixed on the threat. It is both a stance of defense and of submission, a message that it will not strike back, only seeking safe distance, avoiding an attack from behind. Sometimes, that patience and posture persuade lions to move on without a clash. Other times, when the circle closes, the leopard is left with one harsh choice. Stand its ground against overwhelming odds. In nature's harsh rhythm, the leopard survives by caution. It does not seek victory through brute strength, but through reading the moment and retreating in time. On the savannah, survival often matters more than any prize. On the African savannah, territory is an invisible treasure that decides survival. It holds water, grass, and shade, the essentials that sustain an entire pride. For lions, guarding this land means protecting the future of cubs and the stability of the group. When a young male reaches his prime, he must leave his birth pride to seek land of his own. That journey almost always brings clashes with other rulers. A roar rolling across the plains may begin as a warning, yet it can also signal the start of a direct challenge. These contests are often swift and intense. Muscle is only part of the equation. Strategy and alliances carry equal weight. 2 or 3 males together can defend a pride for years, while a lone challenger is easily pushed aside. The victor claims control of the land and the chance to continue his lineage. The defeated must wander, searching for fortune elsewhere. Through every confrontation, nature reminds that no crown on the grasslands lasts forever. Each generation of lions must prove its strength, sharpening the instinct to survive. Across the wide grasslands, herds of zebras, equus quagga, flow like endless rivers. Each can weigh up to 770 pounds, with powerful legs carrying them at speeds over 40 miles per hour. When running together, their black and white stripes merge, making it hard for predators to single out a target. For lions, zebras are familiar yet demanding prey. Hunting success rates average only about 25%. To improve the odds, lions must wait for the right moment, hiding in tall grass, lowering their bodies, and moving step by step. When the gap closes, silence shatters into the thunder of hooves. The chase lasts only seconds, but it is the purest display of instinct and muscle. A young or slow-reacting zebra may be cut off, lost in the dust. With a final burst, the lion can bring its target under control. In the cycle of survival, no hunt is ever wasted. Even in failure, lions sharpen their instincts and skills, preparing to strike stronger and smarter the next time. As hot winds sweep the plains, the African buffalo, Synchorous Kaffir, moves as a solid wall of life. An adult can weigh up to 1,800 pounds, with curved horns forming a natural shield. They live in large herds, bound tightly together for protection against any threat. For lions, buffalo are both a rich source of food and a formidable challenge. A single misstep in attack can endanger the entire pride. Statistics show success rates against buffalo are only about 20 to 30%, far lower than with smaller prey. This is why lions rely on cooperation. Lionesses lead the charge, while males add pressure or block escape routes. The pride bursts into action, using teamwork to unbalance the herd, split formations, and isolate a target. Only through such coordination can they offset the sheer strength of a powerful buffalo herd. One downed buffalo provides tens of thousands of calories, enough to feed the pride for days. Yet victory or failure matters less than the lessons earned. For lions, it is training in patience and collaboration. For buffalo, it is proof of the power of unity. On the savannah, no creature is invincible. Only those who seize the moment endure. In the wild, the Nile crocodile, an ancient reptile stretching over 15 feet long and weighing more than 1,000 pounds, is the silent ambusher of the rivers. Its strength lies in patience and the sudden strike from beneath the water. When victims step to the riverbank, the crocodile becomes a ruler of its realm. In an instant, it can surge forward. Yet no confirmed record shows an adult lion ever brought down by a crocodile. Most encounters end in brief standoffs, both sides pulling back to conserve their strength. On land, however, the balance shifts. Agile bodies and sharp reflexes give lions the edge. They can press close and overpower a rival more suited for the water. If a crocodile fails to retreat in time before a pride surrounds it, the ambusher may unexpectedly become prey. These encounters reveal a clear division of power. In water, the crocodile holds the advantage. On land, the lion dominates. It proves that in nature, strength is not only size or force, but the ability to master the environment. The sweltering sky presses over the swamp, the water churning with restless waves. A shadow darts forward, sharp as a spear. The crocodile, master of ambush, launches a sudden strike, turning silence into chaos. Survival instinct ignites in every instant, where hunter and hunted are separated by a single breath. Here, there is no room for error. Each tail whip, each surge decides the outcome. In the wild, strength alone is never enough. strategy and patience hold the true key to every bank and every stretch of river. When the Great Migration sweeps across the Serengeti and Masai Mara, zebras and wildebeests pour down to the river like living waterfalls. The pounding of hooves, the dust rising over the plains, all dissolve into the rushing water. This is the rare moment crocodiles have waited for through long months. They lie in perfect stillness, only eyes and snout breaking the surface, blending with the muddy waves. As thousands descend, driven by the urge to find greener pastures, the herd faces peril. Zebras, with their dazzling stripes, mix among the solid frames of wildebeests. Both species remain alert, yet the crowded mass fractures easily, leaving gaps for crocodiles to exploit. With a sudden surge of their tails, they lunge in an instant, targeting those who drift apart, the ones who falter midstream. The crossing becomes a severe trial, where swirling currents and crocodile jaws close in together. Zebras leap high. Wildebeests struggle to hold their footing against overwhelming force. In the chaos, a few are subdued quickly and vanish beneath the surface, while the majority scatter, rushing towards the opposite bank. This is more than predator and prey. It is the living cycle of Africa's plains. Each migration, tens of thousands face this wager for survival, while crocodiles, through patience and hidden strength, continue their role in keeping balance along the flow of life in the wild. Crocodiles are ancient reptiles, existing for more than 80 million years with little change in form. They are masters of stealth, using raw muscle and patience to dominate rivers, lakes, and coastal wetlands. With skin-like armor and a powerful jaw lined with dozens of sharp teeth, a crocodile can subdue its target in an instant. Their range is vast, from North American rivers and lakes to the waterways of Africa, Asia, and tropical coasts. As cold-blooded animals, they rely on the sun to regulate body temperature, often basking on sandy banks in the morning before slipping quietly into the water to hunt. Their ability to stay submerged for more than 30 minutes allows them to approach without detection. A fully grown crocodile can weigh over 1,000 pounds and stretch more than 15 feet, making it one of the apex predators of freshwater ecosystems. Its presence is more than a symbol of strength. It is a regulator, maintaining balance by controlling other species and preserving the natural order of rivers and wetlands. The lion, king of the savannah, is the very image of strength and authority on the plains. With solid muscle, a commanding mane, and coordinated hunting instincts, it faces few equals on land. Yet beneath the still water, the crocodile holds the advantage, silently watching every step near the riverbank. two powers, each ruling its own domain, occasionally meet in rare encounters. These meetings often occur when lions approach the water's edge to drink or to cross. A crocodile may surge forward without warning, yet natural history shows that full-grown lions, backed by strength and experience, are seldom overpowered in the shallows. Young lions, however, smaller and less cautious, have faced danger when straying too close to the water, beyond the pride's protection. In such moments, the crocodile seizes its chance, erupting with sudden force. The young are quickly subdued, vanishing from sight as the surface ripples and then falls silent before the pride. On land, the balance shifts. Here, speed, agility, and the power of the pride place lions in command. The crocodile, slower and less able to turn, has little choice but to retreat towards deeper water. If cut off, its chances of survival diminish sharply. In rare cases, the clash takes another form: competition over food. When lions bring down prey near the riverbank, crocodiles may surge ashore to claim a share. Often neither side wins outright. The meal may be divided, or crocodiles withdraw while lions expend strength to defend their portion. These encounters reveal a deeper truth. Power in nature depends on territory. In water, the crocodile reigns supreme. On land, the crown belongs to the lion. This balance is a reminder that no creature holds absolute dominion. Adaptation remains the key to survival. By a shallow lake, a young cheetah pauses to drink after a long chase. Its slender frame and legs, built for speed, now rest in a rare moment of stillness. But beneath the calm surface, danger waits unseen. A crocodile, hidden at the shoreline, remains patient. The instant the cheetah lowers its head, leaving its guard down, the ambush begins. With a powerful tail thrust, the heavy body, hundreds of pounds, bursts from the water. The short distance turns into an absolute advantage for the predator. The struggle is brief. Amid heavy breaths, the sleek figure disappears from the edge. The lake returns to silence, only faint ripples spreading outward. This rare encounter shows that even the fastest hunter on land is not safe when thirst draws it close to the water. Once again, the crocodile proves that patience is its most dangerous weapon, an endless strategy in the wild. The hyena, the nocturnal scavenger of the savannah, is not a direct enemy of the crocodile. Living in clans, they rely on numbers and persistence to seize chances from others. When a hunt succeeds, their noisy feast is filled with cackling calls echoing across the grasslands. But sometimes, that commotion draws in an unexpected rival, a crocodile from the nearby waters. At the water's edge, as the hyenas tug furiously at their prize, a familiar shadow emerges. The crocodile often avoids outright confrontation, choosing instead to intimidate, forcing the clan to retreat in surprise. Tension eases, and at times both sides settle into an uneasy truce, sharing the remains with mutual caution. Yet on rare occasions, the crocodile turns bold. It surges ashore, snatching the prize in a sudden rush, leaving the hyenas startled. With sheer power and stubborn resolve, it refuses to let go. Such moments reveal its opportunistic nature, challenging even the most relentless competitors. These encounters show that between two species from different realms, balance can shift. Sometimes wary coexistence prevails. Other times, brief struggles flare, echoing the harsh law of survival. The impala, slender and swift, often comes to the water's edge in early morning or late afternoon. This routine sustains its endurance, yet places it close to hidden danger. Lurking at the shoreline, the crocodile sinks low, body pressed beneath the surface. It locates prey with sharp vision and hearing, while sensory pits along its jaws detect even the slightest ripple. When an impala lowers its head, a short lunge turns just a few feet of distance into sudden advantage. Recorded success rates for crocodiles striking impalas reach 40 to 50%, far higher than when they target larger, stronger animals. Yet compared to land predators like cheetahs or lions, which may succeed 60 to 70% of the time under favorable conditions, the crocodile's precision is modest. The reason lies in limited opportunities, narrow timing, and reliance on the prey stepping close to the water. When one impala is overpowered, the herd scatters instantly. That chaos magnifies the ambusher's edge, and within moments, a slender figure may vanish, leaving only ripples fading into stillness. The chase ends swiftly, underscoring a timeless rule. Patience and timing are the crocodile's true weapons in its watery domain. The elephant, the giant of the savannah, travels in great herds, relying on collective strength to guard its young. When the dry season forces a crossing of a swift river, adults weighing tons form a barrier against the current, clearing a path for the group. 3 small calves struggle to follow, fighting to keep balance in the rushing water. This coordination saves most, but nature always finds its harsh gaps. Usually, crocodiles pose little more than a nuisance, snapping at trunks when elephants drink, rarely a true threat. But in turbulent water, the herd's advantage can break apart. One calf is swept aside, separated from the protective wall of the adults. Its faint trumpet echoes through the spray, signaling a fragile moment. That is when the crocodile strikes. Hidden beneath murky waves, it surges upward with a powerful tail thrust, aiming for the most vulnerable. The calf, cut off from its guardians, is quickly overpowered. Adults roar and push forward in desperate attempt, but the current blocks their reach. The encounter ends swiftly. The small figure vanishes from the river's surface, leaving only widening rings of water. For the crocodile, it is a rare prize, unlike its usual prey. For the herd, it is a bitter loss. A reminder that even immense strength cannot guarantee absolute protection. On the frozen plains and through the wild forests of North America, the grizzly bear enters a relentless game of survival. Every heavy step is a declaration of strength. When salmon swim upstream, when deer or moose make a mistake, when caribou lose their rhythm, this giant seizes every chance to strike. Swift pounces and sudden chases through snow and rain reveal its primal fighting instincts. It is an unending journey, where power and adaptability decide who endures and who fades away. The moose, the largest deer on the planet, can weigh up to 1,200 pounds and carries antlers like towering branches nearly 6 feet wide. They thrive in marshes and open forests of North America, often overlapping with the hunting grounds of the grizzly. When the two meet, it is a direct contest between the moose's speed, stamina, and defense, and the bear's raw muscle and persistence. In spring, when moose give birth, the grizzly finds easier chances. Young calves, still struggling to keep pace with the herd, become vulnerable targets. By contrast, in the harsh depths of winter, even adult moose weaken from lack of food, making them more at risk than usual. Yet facing a strong adult moose remains a daunting challenge. It can fight back fiercely with wide antlers and powerful kicks from its hind legs. To bring down such a rival, the grizzly must persist, pressing the encounter with endurance and brute strength. Its relentless power gradually turns the moose's defenses into fragile resistance. Once the bear closes in and unleashes its superior force, the moose has little chance to break free. The clash reveals the moose's determined defense, but in the end, the grizzly's dominance and persistence hold the upper hand. It is a lasting reminder that in nature, perseverance is the true key to balance. When summer sweeps across Alaska's valleys, the grizzly begins its familiar hunt. Food is not only found in salmon-filled rivers, but also in grazing animals that wander carelessly. With a sense of smell many times stronger than a dog's, it can detect a trail from miles away. Step by step, the grizzly closes in on its target, a deer absorbed in feeding along the hillside. Suddenly, the distance disappears. With explosive strength, the bear surges to speeds of nearly 35 miles per hour, the ground echoing with its charge. The deer leaps desperately to escape, but the steep terrain and obstacles leave little chance. In seconds, the giant is upon it, overwhelming the smaller animal with sheer weight and force. The chase ends swiftly. The deer falls silent on the grassland, leaving the image of a ruler not driven by cruelty, but by the instinct to endure. Nature teaches that true survivors are not only strong, but also those who know the perfect moment to act. Each summer, Alaska's rivers blaze red with thousands of salmon swimming upstream to spawn. This is the moment the grizzly has been waiting for. They gather along the streams, each bear choosing a strategic spot, patiently watching the rushing waters. In the instant a salmon leaps against the falls, the grizzly reveals its ancient instinct. A swift lunge, powerful claws closing, and the fish is subdued in a heartbeat. The air fills with the roar of water and the constant motion of bears, like a primal dance repeated for thousands of years. Salmon provide rich protein and fat, fueling the reserves needed for the long winter sleep. It is more than a feast. It is a lifeline that ties the grizzly to its evolutionary roots, a rhythm of survival etched deep within its bloodline. An instinct unchanged for millennia, survival through patience, power, and the timeless rhythm of nature. Across the mountains and valleys of North America, the grizzly bear shapes its life around one core element: territory. Spanning hundreds of square miles, this land is more than a feeding ground. It is the map of its very existence. Every step leaves a trace, from deep footprints pressed into the mud to long claw marks carved into tree trunks, silent yet powerful declarations. Unlike wolves or lions, grizzlies do not live in permanent packs. They choose a solitary path, coming together only during mating season or when food is abundant. Territory becomes the shield of survival. An adult bear patrols, marks, and at times must confront intruders. Often these encounters end with displays of dominance, a low, resonant roar, a towering stance, or a firm, deliberate advance. Only when warnings are ignored does a direct confrontation occur. In the wild, holding territory means controlling resources. Seasonal food, from rich salmon in summer to forest berries in fall, to the worn bones and scraps of winter, all lie within these borders. Such reserves build the energy needed to endure the months when snow lies deep and every movement slows. The world of the grizzly is never still. It is a constant rhythm of guarding boundaries, both steadfast and flexible. In the silence of the wilderness, every scratch and every scent mark becomes a language of authority. The message is clear. Territory is life, and those who disregard it will soon fade from view. Behind these rugged signs lies a timeless lesson of nature. Balance can only exist when every species respects the limits of the other. As autumn approaches, the grizzly enters a critical phase. building energy reserves for its long winter sleep. It eats almost constantly, from fat-rich salmon to berries and even animal remains, gaining hundreds of pounds within just a few weeks. This thick layer of fat is not only fuel, but also insulation against the bitter cold. By late fall, the bear seeks deep caves or secure mountain crevices to shelter. For months, its heartbeat and breathing slow as the body conserves energy to the fullest. Even in hibernation, the grizzly remains alert, ready to respond if disturbed, proof that survival instincts never truly rest. Winter sleep is a great trial, yet also a testament to remarkable adaptation. By turning stillness into a survival strategy, the grizzly shows that even in darkness and deep cold, persistence opens the way to life. In dense forests or across open meadows, there are times when grizzlies and wolves must face each other. Wolves are renowned for unity and pack strategy, but when the rival is a full-grown grizzly, the balance of power shifts instantly to the giant. A grizzly can rise over 9 feet tall and weigh up to 1,500 pounds. With claws nearly 4 inches long and layers of muscle, it dominates any encounter through sheer presence. While wolves depend on speed and coordination, the bear relies on overwhelming strength to repel every attempt to steal food or trespass its territory. When a pack tries to encircle, the grizzly rarely retreats. It rises tall, roars like thunder, and charges forward with pounding strides. One sweeping strike is enough to shake the ground and shatter the pack's confidence. More often than not, the wolves withdraw, fading back into the forest, leaving the grizzly standing firm like a fortress. Such encounters display not only strength, but also the grizzly's role as a balancing force in the ecosystem. Wolves maintain order with teamwork and cunning, while the grizzly asserts, without doubt, that in nature raw power is a language of authority. In the frozen tundra, caribou are a vital seasonal food source for the grizzly. In spring, when calves are newly born, the bear can more easily reach those too small to keep pace with the herd. By summer and early fall, during migrations that stretch hundreds of miles, the weak or the separated often become its focus. And in winter, with deep snow covering the land, the grizzly may rely on the remains of caribou that succumbed to the harsh conditions. Caribou are renowned for stamina and speed, able to travel dozens of miles in a single day. But the grizzly does not depend on endurance. It strikes with sudden bursts of power. A surprise charge from thick grass or a ridge can strip the caribou of advantage. During blizzards, when snow reaches knee height and slows both predator and prey, the bear endures, turning harsh weather into its ally. Its adaptability is evident in a flexible diet. When salmon runs dwindle, it turns to caribou. In winter, it makes use of frozen remains. With a double coat of fur and a thick insulating layer of fat, the grizzly is among the toughest survivors of the northern wild. Encounters with caribou show that survival is not only about strength, but also patience and adaptability. The outcome speaks clearly. The grizzly is resilient and resourceful enough to turn every challenge into an advantage for survival. Across the dry grasslands of Africa, hyenas appear not only as followers, they are patient hunters, capable of working together with remarkable coordination, enough to challenge even those at the very top of the food chain. With powerful jaws and extraordinary endurance, hyenas can keep running for miles, wearing down their prey until there is no escape. They do not simply look for leftovers from others, but create their own opportunities, proving that they are true predators, using every rhythm of the savannah to survive. The African buffalo, with its raw power and aggressive nature, is one of the toughest opponents for hyenas. Weighing well over 1,000 pounds and armed with strong, curved horns, these animals can put up fierce resistance against any predator. Yet hyenas, relying on pack strategy, still dare to challenge these massive forces of muscle. When following a herd, hyenas wait patiently for the right moment. They study carefully, picking out the older or younger individuals, then divide into smaller groups to tighten the pressure. The chase is never easy. In these tense moments, hyenas must stay agile, splitting the herd, applying constant pressure, and gradually wearing the target down. Once a weaker buffalo is isolated, the circle closes, and the exhausting pursuit comes to an end. These hunts reveal the bold spirit and persistence of hyenas. They do not rely on numbers alone, but also on patience and seamless coordination to confront some of the most powerful prey on the savannah. It is living proof of their ability to turn difficult odds into opportunities for survival. Beneath their chaotic appearance, hyenas live within a society of strict order. Each clan can number in the dozens, led by a dominant female at the very top. This position is not random, but the result of inheritance and the careful maintenance of power through generations. The clan structure is clearly divided. Higher-ranking individuals gain priority in access to food and resting places. In contrast, those of lower rank must step aside, sometimes waiting for hours before getting their chance. Yet it is this order that prevents major conflicts and holds the group together in stability. What is remarkable is the cooperation among members. Hyena cubs are cared for not only by their mothers, but also by other females in the clan. This shared responsibility ensures a greater chance of survival for the young. Members constantly communicate through sounds and gestures, ranging from high-pitched laughter to low rumbling calls, forming a sophisticated language of their own. In the wild, there are times when hyenas set their sights on giants such as rhinos. Weighing up to several tons and protected by skin as thick as armor, an adult rhino is almost impossible to bring down. Yet when a young rhino strays from the herd, or lacks the strength to defend itself, the situation changes. The hyenas may distract the mother, while another group attempts to move in on the calf. Not every attempt ends in success, but there are moments when the youngster becomes overwhelmed. When the chase comes to an end, even such giants are not entirely beyond the reach of the hyenas' sophisticated teamwork. With their strong pack instincts and remarkable sense of hearing, hyenas are quick to detect the success of a leopard's hunt. When the leopard has just brought down its prey, even the faintest sound can draw a clan of hyenas from far away. Their numbers create invisible pressure, forcing the leopard to weigh the choice between holding on to its prize or retreating to avoid conflict. In many cases, the leopard, preferring to avoid direct confrontation, chooses the safer option, climbing swiftly into the trees and leaving the meal behind. Hyenas then turn the effort of another into a reward for their persistence and pack coordination. But when the hyenas do not outnumber the leopard, the big cat can hold its ground, using its strength and agility to defend its catch. These tense encounters show that hyenas are not merely followers, but a true force able to challenge even a proud predator like the leopard. The savannah thus remains a stage of balance, where the solitary power of the leopard and the collective strength of the hyena are in constant rivalry. Hyenas do not only face outside rivals, at times they turn against one another. Within their strictly ordered clans, internal conflict is inevitable, especially when food is scarce or leadership is challenged. The echoing laughter at night is not always a call for unity. It can also signal a struggle breaking out within the group. These confrontations are often brief but intense in psychology. The stronger individual attempts to overpower the weaker, asserting control over food or status within the clan. At times, entire alliances form to challenge the dominant leader, creating dramatic shifts in the hierarchy. Harsh as they may seem, these struggles help maintain social balance. They remove weaker links or reinforce authority for the stronger, ensuring the clan is guided by the most capable. It is the darker side, yet an inseparable part of hyena behavior. A reminder that even within the same clan, life is a continuous series of challenges. Across the vast savanna, the great herds of migrating wildebeest are always prime targets for hyenas. Their sheer numbers create opportunities, but also present enormous challenges for any predator. To succeed, hyenas rely on group strategies shaped by thousands of years of evolution. When a herd is spotted, the hyenas do not charge in recklessly. They carefully select a target, often an older or younger individual, then split into smaller groups. Each group takes up a strategic position, gradually tightening the circle. This coordination turns the chase into a moving trap, leaving the prey with fewer and fewer paths of escape. Hyenas are renowned for their endurance, able to pursue for miles under the scorching sun. They take turns pressing forward, maintaining constant pressure while conserving energy. As the distance closes, confusion spreads through the wildebeest herd. The formation breaks apart, and the chosen individual soon finds itself overwhelmed. The pursuit usually ends quickly, as the collective strength of the hyenas brings the struggle to a close on the grasslands. It is a vivid demonstration of pack coordination, where persistence and intelligence make them formidable challengers of the savannah. Lions are often seen as rulers of the savannah, yet hyenas remain their most persistent challengers. With the strength of the pack, they do not hesitate to appear when a lion brings down its prey. Their echoing calls from afar serve as a warning, signaling the arrival of an unpredictable rival. Hyenas approach not with reckless courage, but with calculated tactics. They spread out, gradually forming a circle, while sending signals to call in reinforcements. Under such pressure, a solitary lion often struggles to keep its advantage, forced to choose between holding on to the meal or stepping back to conserve energy. However, when the pride is present, the balance shifts. Hyenas understand this is a dangerous gamble. One wrong move could cost them dearly. The overwhelming power of a lion pride compels the hyenas to retreat wisely and wait for another chance. These encounters never end the same way. At times, hyenas gain the upper hand over a lone lion. At others, they yield before the collective strength of the pride. This ongoing struggle has become part of the rhythm of the savannah, where the laughter of hyenas reminds all that the force of unity is always present, keeping the natural balance in motion. On the savannah, every movement is a test of survival. A single step back can turn into a loss. A sudden burst forward may bring a reward. The lion charges ahead, blending sharp strategy with raw strength, turning the hunt into a tense dance between predator and prey. Each rival carries its own tactics, yet all together paint the portrait of a king, a ruler who must constantly fight to hold the crown. If the lion is the symbol of power, the hyena is the challenger to that rule. On the savannah, these two species often meet, not only over food, but also for territorial dominance. Hyenas are known for their intelligence, their persistence, and their remarkable endurance. They can gather in large groups, coordinating to disrupt even a pride of lions. Many times, hyenas trail behind lions, waiting for the moment when the pride grows tired or distracted. Then they rush in with organized chaos. Their sharp laughter echoing across the plains, applying psychological pressure. Sometimes sheer numbers allow hyenas to push forward, forcing lions to pull back. One of the most familiar scenes is the contest over a meal. Just as lions bring down prey, hyenas arrive from every direction, trying to split the pride and seize the reward. In those moments, the lion's determination and strength are tested to the fullest. But lions are not only on defense. A full-grown male, with its unmatched force, can charge directly into the hyena ranks, driving them back. Females support one another, holding a defensive circle while protecting what remains of their food. This is more than a trial of strength. It is a contest of strategy. The side that waits patiently and strikes at the right time claims the advantage. The rivalry between lions and hyenas rarely ends in absolute victory. Sometimes the pride holds its prize. Other times they must yield to the larger force. It is the rhythm of the savannah, where strength, intelligence, and timing draw the thin line between triumph and setback. The lion, often called the king of beasts, is a symbol of strength and order on the savannah. Unlike most of its feline relatives that live alone, lions form prides, where cooperation and survival instincts create a tightly woven system. A mature male can weigh over 400 pounds, its mane spreading like a natural crown. Males guard the territory, while females carry out most of the hunts. This coordination makes the pride one of the most effective hunters in nature. A roar can travel as far as 5 miles, declaring ownership and uniting the pride. Yet beyond raw power, lions help maintain the balance of the ecosystem. A reminder that even a king must keep adapting to survive. Among the rare opponents that can make lions hesitate, the rhinoceros holds a special place. Weighing several thousand pounds, with skin like armor and a sharp horn as its weapon, a rhino can turn any encounter into a serious risk. A single charge is enough to scatter an entire pride. Lions, though powerful and well-coordinated, usually avoid direct attacks on adult rhinos. They understand the risk far outweighs the reward. Instead, their strategy focuses on calves, or individuals separated from the herd, where the chances of success are greater. But when a mother rhino is present, her fierce protection can quickly shatter any lion's plan. The outcomes of these rare confrontations are often balanced. Lions may prevail only against the young or the weak, while adult rhinos remain almost untouchable. It is a reminder that even the ruler of the savannah must show caution before the raw power of nature itself. Along winding rivers, lions sometimes face a silent ambusher, the crocodile. With a bite force of nearly 3,700 pounds per square inch, its jaws rank among the strongest on Earth, powerful enough to threaten many large animals. Yet there has never been a record of a crocodile bringing down a full-grown lion. Muscular strength, sharp awareness, and survival experience help the big cat stay safe from danger in the water. The real risk falls on young cubs, often curious and less cautious. When they wander too close to the riverbank without the mother's protection, the danger appears. A crocodile may lunge suddenly, leaving the young ones no time to react. It is a harsh lesson. The river is never completely safe. This confrontation reflects a division of territories in nature. On land, lions hold dominance. In water, crocodiles reign as the ultimate ambushers. Whether standing at the river's edge or crossing a stream, lions rely on alertness and power to avoid a sudden strike. If a crocodile dares to move on to land, the risk shifts to itself. A lion can overpower it, turning the ambusher into a rare meal source. In the end, the two species coexist, watching each other closely. The boundary between river and grassland remains a fragile, yet enduring line of nature. In the world of big cats, the leopard is a master of caution and agility. It avoids lions whenever possible, knowing that even one encounter could bring danger. Usually, when a leopard spots a lion, whether strolling or guarding a meal, it retreats immediately. This careful instinct allows it to survive in a land ruled by stronger rivals. Rarely will a leopard stand its ground. That happens only when the cat is large enough, comparable to a young lion, and forced into a one-on-one face-off. In such moments, it shows courage, but the test is brief, for the leopard knows survival depends on finding a quick escape. The tension rises when a leopard is surrounded by a prey. Then it crouches low, raising its claws like a final shield, waiting for an opening to slip away. It understands that turning its back would place it at an immediate disadvantage. This is survival reflex at its core, a way to reduce conflict while the lion asserts authority over its domain. Most clashes between lions and leopards end swiftly. Leopards usually retreat, choosing safety over confrontation. But when surrounded, the outcome can be harsh. Some are pushed out or kept at bay by the pride to suppress competition. One side relies on overwhelming strength to preserve order. The other depends on vigilance to keep life moving forward. If the rhino is the steel wall of the dry plains, the hippo is the defining power of the rivers. Weighing over 7,000 pounds, with a mouth that can open nearly 4 feet wide, the hippo carries a power that even lions must respect. Its massive jaws, lined with long canines and an incredible bite force, create an authority that cannot be denied. In their rare encounters, the greatest threat comes not only from raw strength, but also from the heavy tension that surrounds the moment. Lions, experienced as they are, still sense the danger when approaching this giant of the waters. Rather than charging directly, they often test younger or isolated hippos, knowing one mistake could cost them dearly. The outcome of these confrontations rarely favors the lions. Most of the time, the hippo holds its ground as the true ruler of the rivers. The savannah ends at the water's edge, where the lion's crown gives way to the giant of the river. Among the lion's challengers, the African wild dog is no less dangerous. Smaller in size, this species is famous for teamwork in hunting and for its tireless speed. They can bring down prey far larger than themselves, thanks to unity and coordination. But that boldness often leads them into the territory of lions, triggering fierce encounters. Once, a pack of young wild dogs dared to move close to a lion's hunting ground. They tried to provoke, testing the reaction of the ruler. Yet their daring turned into a mistake. A full-grown male lion charged forward, breaking the pack into scattered groups. In the chaos, 2 young wild dogs were swiftly subdued and disappeared from the confrontation. This was not only a defensive reflex, but also the lion's way of reducing a future threat, securing the pride's access to precious food. The clash highlights the clear difference in strategy. Wild dogs rely on speed and teamwork, while lions trust in overwhelming strength and territorial authority. In the end, the savannah records yet another lesson. The crown is not held by name alone. It is earned and reaffirmed as the king must constantly prove his power to maintain nature's fragile balance. From the heart of the savannah to the edge of the rivers, every battle tells one story: survival. Power shifts, instincts clash, yet balance always returns to the wild. The predator's reign is not just about strength, but the wisdom to endure through every storm. If these moments stirred your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again as we unveil more untamed stories from nature's greatest arena.